Gadther's Fangs. Gothic Tale by Rolando Enrique Rosales Murga. Another evening by candlelight. As always, memories envelop me, sometimes reproaching me for the way I live. In fact, I am now a night owl through and through. Today is a special evening. I have another meeting with my friend Abner, who amazes me more and more with his stories. Last time, he told me a second story that went something like this. Yes, my friend, Gadther, my guy, also possessed a special spell. Whoever managed to pull out his fangs would be granted infinite luck in love and material wealth. As you know, I have a very peculiar nature. I've always been fascinated by anything involving challenges, so I decided to pull them out myself. According to legend, Gadther was the last descendant of the crab, a family of warrior beings, ancestors of the serpents, but with a more human constitution. That, then, was the son of the last pharaoh of the Siptra legions, named Almuna, who bestowed all his vigor upon him before dying. Whoever defeated him could pull out his fangs, where all that power was concentrated, and would thus gain many favors for themselves. I knew this creature was very strange. He coiled up at night when he slept, and he did so for only a short time, so I had to be quick. Inside the enclosure, there were only some kind of wool and very thick spider webs, giant creatures with huge fangs that devoured everything in their path, which kept us constantly on guard. We always had to carry a torch, something to defend ourselves with. I decided to go see him while he slept during the times when I was his watchman. Determined to fight him, I struck the first blow with a makeshift whip I had built. He groaned and lunged forcefully at me. Then I took out the blowgun, an instrument I had read about since I was a child, which I had spent many days building. So I fired many darts at him, but they did not weaken him. Then began to back down, as if wanting to lure him into the lair of the Subians, as those giant multi-armed arachnid creatures were called. So I punched him in the face, which gave me more time to think about what to do. Having made up my mind, I drove the blowgun into him. I had fashioned a sort of tip for it so it could serve as a stake as well as for shooting darts. While he was pinned to the wall, I drew my knife and with a deft hand cut off his two front fangs, which were hardly even needed in his tremendous maw, where countless canines glinted. This being uttered thousands of curses in a threatening tone. Its appearance kept changing and changing. Suddenly, I realized that the Subians were approaching. I then ran far away from the stinking lair. When I stepped out into a strange afternoon, the sky looked as if in mourning. Many howls could be heard in the city. Suddenly, each of them approached. The master of the law came and began to say, a prophecy was told to us 14 eons ago that a strange being would come, of frail substance, who would defeat the tormentors, avenge the blood shed by our ancestors, and that we would prosper in this cave. So they entered, and Great was my astonishment to see that each one entered and exited in turn with a fang from that being in their hand. The city spent many days like this until a solemn festival was declared, and everyone sang and told of the death of the tormentor, another of the pseudonyms of God and his race. Once again, I awoke from my dreams, but what do you think? I had some teeth in my hand, like snakes, as well as some wounds on my right hand. You can see them on my necklace. Then I stood there, dumbfounded, gazing at those gleaming fangs, full of light, so vivid, so beautiful, they made one admire them in a certain way. But I'm late again. I love the story, but I must go. Have a pleasant evening, my dear friend. And so ends another session with this strange writer.